An app that scored a babysitter as more dangerous than a guy posting actual slurs. A spy app so invisible it got hacked twice, exposing the exact people it was spying on. And a CEO who put a $30,000 bounty on the wrong man's head, live in front of 1 million people. These are all real. Some of these apps got banned, but some of these are still on your phone right now. So every app on your phone wants something from you. Your location, your contacts, even your photos. Most of the time that's fine, you don't even have to think about it. But every once in a while, an app takes what you give it and does something you never would have agreed to it if you actually knew. Today I'm going to go through 5 of those apps. One of them ends with someone almost getting killed, and by the end, you'll get why. I'm not emo, and honestly, thank you for even clicking on this. I'm pretty new to this whole thing, so it means a lot. Let's get into it. Chapter 1. The Babysitter Score. Predictum. So back in 2018, this company called Predictum shows up with this pitch. Before you even hire a babysitter, let AI check her out for you first. You'll type in her name, her email, pay like 25 to 50 bucks, and a few minutes later, you'll get this whole report back. A score for bullying, drug use, harassment, even how bad her attitude supposedly was. No interview, no phone call, nobody called her references, just a machine deciding if she's safe. And okay, let's be honest here. On the surface, that kind of sounds like a smart idea, right? Tech doing your homework for you. But here's the problem. The babysitter never agreed to any of this. They just wanted the job, and this algorithm nobody had ever tested was quietly deciding whether she get it or not. How did it actually work, you might say? Well, it scrapped years of her public Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, every post, every joke, every random comment, hunting for keywords it thought meant risk. So basically years of somebody's entire online life got boiled down into one number a stranger would use to decide who watches their kid. Sound dystopian to me. A journalist over at Gizmodo actually tested this on people he trusted in real life. He ran his own family's babysitter through it. A black woman he'd already wedded the normal way. She came back as moderate risk. Think for herself the algorithm read as disrespectful, even though it was just jokes, normal jokes. Then he ran a white friend of his through the same system. This friend's feed had actual vulgar stuff, drug references, way worse than anything the babysitter posted, and that friend scored better than her. When people push Predictum on why that happens, their CTO basically said, race is not a factor. There's no way to enter race into the algorithm, he said. That didn't really convince anyone though. Facebook and Twitter both quietly cut ties with Predictum off of their data, saying it broke their rules against scraping people's personal information to make decisions about their employability. So Predictum got caught because people were actually paying attention. What I want to show you next though didn't get caught nearly that fast, because the people getting hurt by it had literal no idea it existed. Chapter 2. The spyware that got spied on. Okay, so stalkerware apps market themselves as parental control tools. Something you install on someone else's phone to keep them safe, right? Well, one of the bigger ones is called CatWatchful, and it literally advertised itself as completely invisible, totally undetectable. It would upload everything off the target's phone, including messages, photos, live GPS coordinates, even audio from the mic and both cameras, straight to a private dashboard. And I just want to point that out. Invisible can't be detected isn't a parenting feature. That's a surveillance tool built into a phone, used to spy on someone without them knowing. Which is exactly why apps like this get banned from actual app stores, and only survive because somebody with physical access to your phone has to install it directly. Once it's on there, CatWatchful and a bunch of similar ones like SpyX and SpyZ just quietly uploads everything to a server the buyer logs into. The person being watched never sees an icon, a notification, nothing. In 2025, a security researcher named Eric found a hole in CatWatchful's system that exposed their entire customer database, including emails and plain text passwords for everyone paying to spy on someone, plus the stolen data of at least 26,000 victims. And Cat Watchful wasn't even alone in this. That same year, a separate bug and Coco Spy and SpyX leaked around 3.2 million customer emails, along with the victims' messages, photos, and location data, just sitting out in the open online. So think about what that actually means. People install this stuff to secretly spy on partners or family, which, by the way, is a really common thing in domestic abuse situations. And then the company running the surveillance get hacked too. So now the victims get exposed a second time. Tuber finds the leaked database next. After all this came out, a few of those apps just quietly took down their websites down and vanished. Probably not because they wanted to fix anything though, probably just trying to dodge the legal fallout. Stalker was pretty creepy though, but at least it did what it said it would. What I'm showing you next, it didn't even bother doing that. It just took people's money away. Chapter 3: The Scam That Sold Fake Surveillance. Call Phantom. It's late 2025. A security company, we'll call it ESET, finds this app on Google Play. It's called Call History of Any Number. And what it's promising is honestly pretty messed up. You type in anyone's phone number and it will pull up their call logs, their texts, even their WhatsApp activity. Obviously, that's not a real feature, of course. No app can actually do this, but that didn't stop people from actually buying for it. Or should I say, buy it. ESET dug in and found this wasn't just one app though. It was 28 nearly identical apps, all running the same scam, which researchers ended up calling Call Phantom. None of them actually accessed anyone's actual data. They just generated random phone numbers, slapped on fake names, made up call times, fake timestamps, everything, and just hard-coded into the app. One version even used the developer name, quote-unquote, IndianGov.in, to make it look official. All 28 apps combined had over 7.3 million downloads before ESET reported them and Google pulled them out in December of 2025. People were paying anywhere from $6 to $80 for this. That's crazy. Some through Google's own payment system and some through sketchy third-party pages that skipped it entirely. So a lot of those people can't actually get their money back, unfortunately. But what gets me is Google's own system didn't catch this. It took an outside company to flag all 28 apps before anything happened. Millions of people downloaded software built entirely around exploiting the fact that they wanted to secretly check up on somebody and they paid real money for that. This one preyed on pretty dumb people if I'm being honest with you, but this next one doesn't target anyone at all. It just sends you somewhere and lets you find out what's there. Alright guys, sorry, it's a bit late now. But here we go. So Randonautica came out in the early 2020s with this really weird pitch. You set an intention, and it could be anything from adventure, a sense of wonder, whatever, and the app spits out random coordinates near you, supposedly based on chaos theory and quantum randomness. All you have to do is follow the coordinates, and according to them, the universe kind of meets you halfway there. Sounds like a harmless little scavenger hunt app, right? Well, during COVID lockdown, bored out of their minds, over 8 million people downloaded it, and then it's kind of started sending people to some really specific kinds of places. The founders actually said the whole idea came from this mind machine interface study from the 90s. A study so weak, even though people who wrote it admitted it needed way more research. A physicist who got interviewed basically said that the app's quantum randomness was not actually happening. He said it's just sciencey sounding language slapped onto plain randomness. In June of 2020, a group of teens in West Seattle set their intention to travel. They followed their coordinates to a beach and they found a suitcase. Inside were 2 dismembered bodies. The kid who filmed it later said that the laughing in the video was just how he was coping in the moment. And once he actually got home, he broke down and couldn't sleep for a long time. When people asked the app's founder about it, he called it a really unfortunate coincidence and said he personally reached out to check on the teenagers. And that wasn't even a one-off thing though. People have posted videos of the app sending them to fields full of empty coffins, some with the stakes driven in, abandoned buildings, active crash sites, even the actual graves of their own relatives. One woman said the app sent her to a spot where she thinks she watched someone die. Coincidence? Confirmation bias, whatever you want to call it. The app's still live right now, still splitting out coordinates, still sending people wherever it decides to send them. That's a scary thing. If you wanted to, you can try it right now, but I'm warning you, I do not recommend it. Chapter 5: The $30,000 Bounty. Citizen. Citizen calls itself a police safety app. Real-time alerts pulled from police scanner traffic so you know what's going on around you. And if you want, you can live stream stuff as it happens. They market it as transparency, like everyone deserves to know what's going on near them. In May of 2021, during a wildfire out near the Palestine area of LA, Citizen CEO, a guy named Andrew Frame, turned that whole quote-unquote transparency pitch into basically a live stream manhunt with a literal bounty attached. Citizens got this feature called On Air. It's like a pseudo cable news channel built right into the app. Hosts narrating stuff live, interviewing people at the scene. During the fire, Citizen decided they had their suspect, and they started blasting his name and photo out on air. Frame was personally directing all of it over Slack. Told his team to offer $10,000 for information leading to the guy's capture, then raised to $20,000, then $30,000. Told staff to notify all of LA. A push alert went off to over 1 million people across the city. For almost 7 hours, an on-air host is telling this livestream audience they need the scent of his clothing to track the guy down, and thousands of people are out there watching and actually searching for him. They had the wrong guy. The man Citizen put a literal price on was just an unhoused man with zero connection to the fire. Police ended up arresting someone else entirely. Citizen came out and called it a mistake that they were taking seriously, but internal Slack messages that Vice got a hold of showed Frame telling his team the whole thing wasn't as bad as it looked, and that the investigator had told him that the team had never been more excited. LAPD later straight up stopped working with Citizen over this, and the company actually went out to test rolling out their own private security vehicles to patrol LA streets, a plan they eventually dropped after people called it rightfully dystopian. Citizen didn't need a hack or some broken algorithm to hurt somebody. All it needed was a CEO with a live stream, a bounty, and 1 million people willing to go look. And that's all the stories we have. I appreciate you guys so much. If you made it this far, thank you so much, genuinely. I'm still trying to figure this channel out, so every person who watches actually does mean something. I appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Ciao.